Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of League Review with Bowling Lefty. Just wanted to talk about league night last night. Got to tell you, it was one of my worst league nights in several months, but came across a tricky lane condition. Game one did great, 245. My spare shooting's been off a little bit on the spares on the right hand side. Obviously, as a left hander, those are some of the easier ones. So not sure. I think it's a little bit of timing that's off with those spares. So I'll be working on that in practice the next couple weeks, hopefully. But anyway, still shot a 245. Had a seven spare the first frame, then four strikes, then missed a 10 pin in the sixth frame, and then struck out after that. So good first game. Thought it was going to be a strong night. Second game, first game throwing the Black Widow Mania. Second game, stayed with the Black Widow Mania. Not quite sure what happened. I know I had a few releases that were pretty bad. Ended up pulling out a 189 with the open in the 10th. So that sucked. And then getting into the third game, I was having problems on the right lane. It was, if I got it out to the dry, it was just like completely dry. A lot of big time, I don't know what they call that, but over unders or whatever it's called. But it was like as soon as it hit, it looked like it hit a just complete dry spot and made a complete right turn, which it hadn't done most of the night. So I probably should have, on my end, I should have kept following the oil in. But when I made a mistake, it was almost like a sport condition on that lane, because when I made a mistake, it was right through the nose and it was a guaranteed split. So the third game, I ended up pulling out a 169. The first five frames, I think I had 3 or 4 open. So I switched after the fifth frame to this bad boy right here, the track stealth mode. So last night, picked that up and started using it, and it was good from the sixth frame on. Got lined up with it pretty quickly. It's exactly what I was hoping it would do. I think it's going to be a great replacement for my hook it. Definitely actually has a lot more movement than my hook it, which is great from the Brunswick line. I'm sorry, not hook it, knockout, from my blue knockout and the black knockout as well. So anyway, so far through 5 frames and much better. I salvaged a 170, 169, I think it was, when it could have easily been a 150, 140, the way I started out. We're still in first place by a game. We won 3. Fortunately, my partner, Uvaldo, he's another guy that bowls with me. He's an older guy, uses a lot of Storm products. Last night, he was using the IQ Tour and then the phase 2, the last game. And he's a 170. He started the season at 175 and has just been killing it. The last several weeks, he's really been able to work on controlling his equipment, changed his hand release a little bit, and he's really been able to control. Normally, that IQ Tour in the phase 2 has just been on our lane to bowl on, just hooked way too much for him. But these last several weeks, he's been saving me. So especially last night, he saved me. We are down. One of my partners had a ankle replacement surgery, so he's out for the rest of the season. So it's just me and him taking a vacant score on the third bowler for the next few weeks. And man, last night he saved us. He shot every game was 201, 202, and then I think he shot a 214. And we ended up, the game I bowled a 169. Fortunately, the people we were bowling, bowling is a game of luck and breaks, and sometimes it goes your way and sometimes it doesn't. Last night, man, I tell you, these people we were bowling, they hit the head pin every single time and would get 9 count, and then they were making their spares. For me, I hit the head pin, split. I think I had 4 or 5 splits last night in 2 games, the last 2 games. So it was crazy. But anyways, so we got lucky. The team we were bowling against, they kind of started falling off that third game, and then my partner stepped it up. So his average, he started the season, I want to say he was at 173. He started the season and he's gradually been climbing a pin here and there. So he's finally, his goal this season was to get to 180. So I want to say he's about 70 years old, slow speed, low rev rate, but all his equipment has some good movement to it, especially on dry lanes. He likes playing. I worked with him this season on trying to get it to where he can touch the edge of the oil so that he uses the oil to his benefit. Because on these lanes we've been bowling on this season, I don't know what it is, but it is hit or miss. Last night I felt like we had a lot more oil than normal, and then I guess my end, I just didn't utilize it properly. Obviously, I'm the only left-hander most of the time, but I guess I just burned that spot and didn't realize the change. And by the time it changed, it was too late. And all my moves I made the third game. I think I was making a move on every shot, and I guess I was moving the wrong way or not far enough. So, which for me, normally small moves are okay. It's kind of like a sport shot. Every move you're making is a small move. Make a slight adjustment for each shot on a sport shot. That's what it felt like last night, but they were all the wrong moves. So, anyways, so my partner bailed me out last night. We ended up winning 3. The other 2 people we bowled, one of them, she averaged 150, and she was using a radical clone, which looked really good. And she would get it out there, and it was slow as can be, but it would come back and it would hit the pocket. And if it hit the head pin, she left a 9 count. So she knocked out, she got away with pins falling on so many splits like late. But that's just sometimes the break. Sometimes it goes their way, sometimes it goes our way. Like the last game, we got lucky and we won that one. But she was a 150 average, and she averaged last night about 180. So that's hard, especially for me with my average. I don't have any handicap because our league is 220. So my average is coming down. It's now at, I think after last night, it said it was at 221.7 or something like that. So almost 222. But that was my first, I shot a 594. That was my first sub 600 since October. So it happens. You try and learn, move on. I probably should have switched to the stealth mode earlier, but I was kind of hesitant too. So let me talk about this real quick. It's a track stealth mode. See the layout, okay? Pin up, offset. It's a symmetrical ball. As you notice, there is no third dot here, okay? This is the some of the specs on this ball are going to be, this one is 15.4 ounces with a 2 to 3 inch pin. So definitely a shorter pin, which on my symmetrical balls, I do like that range. That's the range I like going to, is 2 to 3. I can't tell you the science behind it, but for me, I always seem on a symmetrical ball, the shorter the pin, the better for me. And then that layout that you saw, this is very typical of mine that you'll see. So generally the pin is going to be up here or a little further over here, and I always try and get it kicked out a little bit. For me, helps me, gives me most potential, most flair with this ball. So that's what it is. It is a non-HK22. It's a non-HK22. It's a QR10. The original Stealth was a QR9. So not much has changed. I can't tell you what it was before, but it was sanded with a 500 and then 1500 Sierre. And so that's what it comes out of the box. I definitely like the layout on it. It definitely seemed to even hook a lot at 1500. So we'll mess around with it like I do with all my other equipment. Last night I sanded I didn't throw the snapshot last night, and I didn't throw the mesmerize. I threw the mesmerize in practice and it looked good. Honestly, I should have probably stayed with it. The only thing is the Black Widow Mania doesn't quite hook as much, and so it's a little easier to control. When I say it doesn't hook as much, it's like the Mesmerize is hooking the entire lane, and then it seems to dry the lane out a lot quicker if there's not as much volume. So the Black Widow Mania, I am able to play a little bit further in, and if once that starts going, I can go further out. Black Widow Mania was leaving me some corners last night, so it wasn't quite finishing as like I wanted to. So I did move further out, and once I did that, it started carrying that first game. I probably could have switched the snapshot. I had taken the snapshot. I used it like I was telling you guys in one of the other videos. When I went to practice, not sure if I hit this, but when I went to practice last Thursday or Sunday. Sunday I practiced through 6 games, 2.5 with the snapshot, and it's great. Love that ball. I started with the Mesmerize. Mesmerize was looking good. I took the Mesmerize down to 1,000 grit just to kind of give me a little bit more control. And it definitely seems like that's going to be the grit for me with that ball to keep it controlled. Snapshot was at 1,500, and man, that thing hooks like crazy, especially for a symmetrical ball. It definitely acts more like an ASIM. But it's like I told you, it's at super symmetrical, so it's supposed to be a mix, and I definitely see a little bit of both symmetrical and asymmetrical ball motion with that ball. As far as I did practice a little bit with Black Widow Mania, but there was the lanes were super heavy, they were flooded, and so I was leaving a lot of corner pins with that, like very flat corners. So that's when I switched to the Mesmerize, and I was able, I think I shot in practice, I shot a 230 and a 225 with the Mesmerize on a pretty heavy house shot, and it worked great. The snapshot, then I came back, I think for the day I averaged like 220, 223, 224, somewhere around there, my normal average for 6 games. I didn't have any games under 200, so that was good. But the snapshot, man, it comes back, and it had great carry, so it was good. So definitely, I think my arsenal is set for a while. It's definitely going to be my tournament arsenal, so looking forward to that. The only ball I'll probably this is going to be my arsenal that I definitely take to my tournament in Alabama when I go. But yeah, so just wanted to touch on some of my review, give you a little bit of stuff about this stealth mode. Go out and pick one up at your local pro shop. I definitely recommend it. Have it drilled to what you like. It hooks the entire time, and it does have a pretty good back end on it. So it'll definitely be a ball that I'll use in that second, third game when the fresh is kind of done away with. Pull out this symmetrical, and it's gonna have some good power for me. So anyways, that'll be it for this video. Please check out my other videos, like and subscribe, recommend me to some of your friends, and I truly appreciate it. Have a great day. We'll see you next week.